Today's talk is called Your Dream is Your North Star. And we're going to start by repeating our identity prayer. So you at home read it as I read it aloud again. I know that within myself there is that life which is perfect, complete, divine. It was never born and cannot die, for it lives and is God. Within myself is the wholeness, peace, poise, and power of life. This life is health. It is abundance. It is love. There is one life, and it is the life of God. And this is my life now. So it's not about what you do to achieve your dream. It's about who you have to be, who you have to become, because your dream is your gift to life, your vision, your dream. It's whatever we're talking about here. And your biggest dream could be simply to lead a peaceful life. It might be to cure cancer. It might be sharing your talents with the world. Whatever those talents might be that you have a passion for, because it is your passion that is your gift to the world. And yes, your North Star is also guiding you towards taking steps, but those steps always involve the gift of that is your dream. Gandhi said it best when he said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." I'm saying, be the gift you wish to bring to life. I've had a fever these last 3 days, and it has been very uncomfortable, but has also given me a lot of time for thinking. And one of the thoughts that came to me was about atoms, electrons and protons. I don't know if you are aware of this. Now, this is a bit of a science lesson, and I promise you it leads back to something really important about us. An atom starts out having the same amount of electrons and protons. And it is only when it either has less electrons or or more electrons than the amount of protons, then electrical charge comes into existence. Now, if there's more electrons, then it's a negative charge. If there's less electrons, then it's a positive charge. So either way, negative or positive, that's what creates energy. Now, here's the thing about this. Whether the charge is negative or positive, the first thing that what happens to the atom is it does everything it can to get back to balance, to get back to neutral. The second that atom is sent out of whack by either having too many electrons or too few, it immediately does whatever it takes to get back to neutral. So imagine this inside our bodies, these atoms that are creating all these electrical charges, whether they're positive or negative. Now, our minds are an incredible power that have incredible impact on our bodies. So when we think negatively or positively, we are throwing our body into a state where it then wants to achieve balance. It's doing that automatically. It's doing that out of its essence of what it is, negative or positive. So if we're going for all this positive, our body is actually fighting to get back to neutral. If we're stuck in the negative, our bodies are fighting to get back to neutral. And it's in that fight that they're creating the energy that moves our lives forward. That's what's so amazing and important about what it is I'm saying here. That no matter what we are doing, our bodies are working its way back to balance. It's meant to be that way. It works to be that way. So here's the other piece about this. Our dream is our North Star. So the energies that are being created are always being created out of our dream, whether we're conscious of it or not, because our dream is who we have come here to be. Our dream is not our goals. It's larger than that. And when I say larger, I'm not talking about more stuff. I'm not talking about more fame. I'm talking about the essence of who we actually are. Our bodies, our beingness is always working towards that. So every circumstance in our life comes out of this dream of who we have come here to be. Every single circumstance, whether I have a fever or not, whether I am healthy or not, whether there's all kinds of obstacles or not, it makes no bit of difference. They're all coming out of this essence, this that's coming to life. The gift I am bringing, the gift you are bringing, all comes out of the same place, of this essence of who we have come here to be. So the whole idea of what's negative or positive gets in our way of thinking, because it all has to work with who we are. It has to, because negative and positive are happening all the time, and either one creates energy that is forcing us to come back to neutral. You could say, I gave up on my dream years ago. That dream is still driving your life. It just may be doing it in ways that you have yet to recognize. You could say, I have achieved my dream. Well, if you are still alive with circumstances, then there's something even bigger. And once again, when I say bigger, I'm not talking about something dramatic to the world. It has to be about what's bigger inside you. It may be deeper. It may be about simply opening your heart to something beyond what you recognize if you think you've already achieved your dream. Now, if you're like me, who feels like I have not yet achieved my dream, then I can see the circumstances that I am now looking at every circumstance of my life as being created out of that essence, out of that place that is moving me forward, that is creating the energy. It is only me that's judging it as negative or positive. What's really happening is energy is being created that's moving me forward. We are powerful, creative, spiritual beings, and our lives work magnificently. And the energy that's being created, whether we judge it as negative or positive, is simply moving us forward, because that's what our bodies do. That's what our beingness does. It's doing it all the time. So what do you do then? What is there for us to do if not to think about things in the negative and the positive? Well, I believe it rests in the same it rests outside the same closed system as the victim, perpetrator, savior circle does. Now, if you know anything about this circle, you know if you think of yourself as either a victim, a perpetrator, or a savior, sooner or later you're going to wind up being the other two as well, because it's a closed circle and it just keeps going round and round and round. Positive and negative do too. And the only way out of it is to think beyond it, to think outside the positive and negative, to think outside the victim, perpetrator, savior. How do you do that? By remembering that we are divine beings. We're in a divine drama, in a divine life. Now, that may sound like hooey, and I know that it did to me at some point in my life, but I got to tell you, it's a very powerful thought when you grab onto it and you go, I am beyond these circumstances. I must be, because I am a divine being. I must be beyond these circumstances. And what we judge as negative and positive, we are judging from a very crystallized, in-the-moment situation. Because anything that looks negative could turn out to be positive, and anything that looks positive could turn out to be negative. There is an old Zen proverb. It goes something like this. A farmer has his best mare run off. His neighbor comes over and says, what a pity. The farmer says, I don't know. We'll see. A few days later, the mare comes back with 3 other horses following it. The neighbor comes by and says, that's a miracle. Farmer goes, I don't know. We'll see. A few days after that, his son tries to break one of the new horses and instead winds up breaking his leg. The neighbor comes over and says, oh my God, this is horrible. Who's going to help you in the fields? The farmer goes, I don't know. We'll see. And a few days later, the army comes to take all the young men to war and pass over his son because he has the broken leg. The neighbor comes over and says, what a miracle. And once again, we know what the farmer said. I don't know. We'll see. So it's us who judge each event as positive or negative, when in fact, in the larger picture of our lives, it never seems to be what it seemed to be at that point. We have the ability to rise above it all. We hold our vision. We hold our vision strong. We let our bodies handle the energy of the positive and negative. The least amount of judgment we can bring to it, the higher we rise above. The stronger we simply hold our vision on the dream of who we have come here to be, the stronger our vision evolves. This is in our hands. This is not outside ourselves. Circumstances have nothing to do with the outcome of who we have come here to be. But they have everything to do with showing us the North Star that we want to follow to reach who we have come here to be. This is an epic, heroic journey that each of us gets to be on when we embrace that which is ours, bringing our gift to the world and being the gift we have come here to be. Thank you. I love you. If this talk has spiritually fed you or served you in any way, please contribute to our ministry so that we can continue to produce talks as good as this one. We reach now over 50 countries and over 2,000 people a week, and we're able to do this because of contributions from people like you. So please go to our website and click on the donate button and give generously and get that law of circulation going in your life, because the more you give, the more you receive. Thank you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.